Have you ever thought about running something like ChatGPT, but on your own computer? Like totally offline? Well, today we're going to talk about a tool called Ollama that makes that not just possible, but actually pretty easy. Let's jump in. Okay, so first things first, let's kind of set the scene here. We're going to talk about the big picture, what it means to pull AI out of the cloud and bring it right into your own home. So, when you're chatting with an AI, where is that actually happening? Where does it live? It sounds like a simple question, right? But the answer? Well, it has some pretty massive implications for things like your privacy and who's in control. The answer, for the most part, is the cloud. You type something in, it zips across the internet to these huge, super powerful data centers, and then the answer comes zipping back. It works, for sure. But here's the thing, it's not the only way anymore. And this really brings up a big trade-off. With cloud AI, it's super convenient, but you're handing over your data and you've got to have an internet connection. Local AI, though, it completely flips that around. You get total privacy, you can use it offline. Why? Because nothing ever leaves your computer. The only catch, of course, is that you're limited by how powerful your own machine is.
And that's the perfect segue into what we're talking about today. The tool that makes all this local AI stuff happen is called Llama. Think of it as your own personal AI powerhouse.
So what exactly is a llama? In a nutshell, it's this awesome platform that lets you grab, run, and mess around with the very same kinds of powerful AI models you see online, but right on your own machine. It's kind of like having your own private mini data center sitting on your desk. And here's why this is such a game changer. It runs locally on Windows, macOS, Linux, even when you're offline. It is totally privacy-focused, which means your sensitive data stays your sensitive data. You can even tweak and customize the models to do exactly what you want. And it's built for speed, so you get less of that annoying lag you sometimes see with cloud tools. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This sounds amazing, but can my computer actually handle it? That's the million-dollar question, right? Well, let's figure that out. All right, let's talk specs. To just get your foot in the door, you can get started with about 8 gigs of RAM and a decent 4-core processor. But if you really want to let this thing rip and run the bigger, more powerful models, you're going to want to shoot for 16 gigs of RAM or more, maybe an 8-core CPU, and definitely a fast SSD. The good news? If you have a pretty good machine for development or gaming, chances are you're already good to go. Okay, so let's say your computer is ready. Now we get to the really fun stuff. Let's walk through how you actually get Ollama up and running, from the super simple setup to some frankly mind-blowing vision stuff. You'd think this would be complicated, but getting started is shockingly easy. It's basically 3 steps. 1, download the installer or run a quick command. 2, click through the setup. 3, pop open your terminal and check the version. And that's literally it. You're ready to roll. And this right here, this is the magic. To get a cutting-edge model like Llama 3.2 and start chatting with it, it's just one command. Ollama run Llama 3.2. That's it. The very first time you do this, it'll download the model. But after that, it fires up an instant chat session every single time. So how fast is it really? This table gives you a pretty good idea, based on a regular Intel i5. Now you'll see a word here, quantization. The easiest way to think about this is like compressing a giant photo. You might lose a tiny bit of crispness, but the file size gets way smaller and it loads way faster. It's the same idea here. It's a trade-off that massively boosts efficiency, and the key takeaway is that these smaller, more compressed models use less of your RAM and can often run even faster. And this chart really drives that point home. Look at this. For the exact same Llama model, the more compressed 4-bit version is clearly faster. It's spitting out more words every second, and it's using over a gigabyte less RAM to do it. That's a fantastic trade-off, no question. Okay, so everything we've talked about so far has been about text, right? Words. But this is where things get wild. Because Ollama isn't just about language. It can actually see. No, really, check this out. There's a model called Lava that can understand images. You can just give it a picture and ask it a question. In this example, the command is just describe this image, and look at the response. It's amazing. It knows who the character is. It sees the crown. It even reads the French text on the poster. And I have to say it again, this is all happening 100% on your local computer. Nothing is sent to the cloud. But it doesn't just stop at the command line. Oh no. For all you developers, you tinkers, you creators out there, you can plug Ollama's brain directly into your own apps using Python. And you've got a bunch of ways to do it. You can do simple web requests, use the official Ollama library, which is super easy, or you can hook it into big boy frameworks like LangChain. And this part is really, really cool. You can even use the official OpenAI library. What's that mean? It means you could take code that was built for ChatGPT and with just a tiny change, make it run locally with Ollama. That's huge. And listen, you don't have to be a coding genius to make this happen. Seriously, look at this. With the official Ollama library, you can build the guts of your own custom AI chatbot in just a handful of lines of Python. It's really designed to be that simple to get started. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. We've seen the what and the how, but let's talk about the why. Why is this such a big deal? This is all about putting the power back into your hands, and why local AI is a trend that really, really matters. This quote really nails it. Running models locally ensures data remains on the user's machine. That's the heart of it all right there. It's the fundamental promise. Your secret business ideas, your personal journals, your confidential code, it all stays with you. Period. So what does this all mean for you? Well, first, it means complete data ownership. Your stuff is your stuff. Second, it's freedom from the internet. You could be building an AI-powered tool on a flight or brainstorming with a model from a cabin deep in the woods with no signal. It also means you're free to just create and experiment without getting a massive bill from a cloud provider or worrying about their rules. Really, the only limits are the power of your computer and what you can dream up. And that really brings us to the final thought here. For so long, this kind of AI power felt distant. It was locked up in the cloud, something you could only access on someone else's terms, by their rules. But now, with tools like Ollama, that power isn't out there anymore. It's right here on your own machine. So the question really isn't if you can build something amazing with AI. The question is, now that it can run on your terms, what will you create?